from was turned into visible by our amazing species. Isn't that amazing? Our truest nature is to be a creator. So the first focus, as I just said, is to return to superconscious power. The second is to live your truest nature and purpose. The purpose is how you apply that truest nature. If the truest nature is to be a creator, the purpose is are you going to create charities? Are you going to create an amazing family? Are you going to create an amazing skill set? Are you going to create joy on the planet? What are you going to create? That's your purpose. Does that make sense? That's the purpose. So truest nature and purpose. Truest nature and purpose. It's very, very, very cool. So first is that we have you return to your superconscious power. The second is that you live your true nature and purpose. Now, the third aspect of our work is the creative structure. The creative structure. You have a creative process. You're not broken. You have a creative process. In fact, many of us are so good at creating the exact same circumstances in our life in spite of so many other options. Our creative process is so strong. There are people on this call that in spite of many ways to become healthy, they can keep creating unhealth. In spite of the millions of ways to make money, they can continue to create poverty. Now, what that shows me is that their creative process is strong. It's just applied on the wrong thing. You got to say, if someone is able their whole life to keep being able to create anxiety in a world where you could have anything else, that's a bloody really creative thing. There are so many other ways to create joy and happiness and love and fulfillment. So someone comes to me and they say, Chris, I can't shake this depression. I've had it for 15 years. I go, wow, that is some powerful creative ability. And then I look at them and I say, last week, how many things do you do that you love? I say, what do you mean? I'm like, well, out of your last week, if you look at it, did you do what you love? They go, oh, no, not really. So, well, give me a list of 10 things you love to do that makes you feel good. They're right. I say, should we do that next week? And it's really strange when they start doing things that they love in their life, they start to feel really good. So, because I can't. I said, well, let's look at it and let's actually choose how to reshape it. It's really interesting. So anyway, hey guys, I'm excited to be here and I hope you are too. Should we get started? I'm just rambling just to fill some time while people make it to this platform or whatever platform you're on. So thanks for being here. I know that you're in many different places and that's fantastic. So let's get ourselves started. A few things. Today is day 4, so we have one more day tomorrow, and that is our last day. And I think it's been pretty generous of us to be here. Do I have some team members on as well? Team, type in team so everyone knows that you're there too, who they can talk to. We said to you that we would give you 5 days of the most amazing, profound content to help you really upgrade your superconscious. Now we're on day number 4. During this week, we're giving a massive hand up opportunity to join our year-long program. And you can do it for just $49 a week. And that's incredible. If you would like to take that next step, tomorrow will be your last chance and you can be there. But my intent was to do everything that I say always. So we've got today and tomorrow of amazing transformative work ahead. And then we'll be saying, see you at the next program if that's what you choose to do. But can I just check in? Has it been a great 3 days so far? And you guys all ready for day 4? Has it been worth your while? I can imagine since you're here, it must be. So in the chat box, give me a number 4. And let's get started on day number 4. I love you all so much. Today, we are going to go through a really, really amazing process. Today's process is called the double bubble. And the double bubble allows you to let go of putting your conscious focus on the wrong thing. Remove the fear of failure completely. Today's going to be a big deal. If you thought yesterday was great and the day before was good and the first day was foundational, today we're going next level. And then tomorrow we're doing a miracle health transformation. I know, let's go. So let me grab some of the notes up here and let's get right into it. So we all go on a journey to superconscious living. And what's interesting is this journey to superconscious living actually is a predictable pattern. And most conscious people do not find their way across to the actual superconscious side. They stay stuck. I meet many 60, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 80-year-olds who are still living out of their childish wounds. In our society, we lack an initiation into adulthood. We simply just become grown-up children with the wounds just out there on full display. What I want to explain to you right now is why it is so important that we get that wounding, and also what we must do to enter the wizard's gate, return to power, and step into a true adult perspective. As a preface to this, if you can live 1 year as a superconscious creator, heart out in front, going for what you love, that 1 year you will have more life than most people that exist for 100 years, just orienting out of their self-sabotage. Who agrees? If you just have 1 year, just 1 year, so I don't mind how many years you've been on the planet. If you could just have 1 year where you go for what you love and you create magic and joy and wonder and focus and you go for what's here, you actually have more life than somebody that might go round and round in circles in disharmony and dissatisfaction for 90 years. Okay, so welcome to the superconscious journey. I'm on page 10 of your notes. So we start out here at number 1, as a pure creative spirit. Every single one of us start out as a pure creative spirit, and we have it all. Before we connect to the energy of our father and our mother, we're just a pure spirit, a consciousness. As we come into this world, we become an individual. Now, as it says there, it says you get a limited perspective. Okay, what that means is you must know where you end. So this is the end of Chris here, this hand actually. So you get a limited perspective. See, I'm one viewpoint. I'm looking out of here. I'm one viewpoint. It's limited. Okay, there's an end to me. I know that if I whack that camera, they're not going to merge. So I'm limited. And so what happens is we move from the all to a limited perspective. This is a very interesting process, because as we fall from grace and end up having a limited perspective, what we find out is that there are 2 people, or sometimes more, or sometimes less, that we need to have us to belong to and be looked after. Okay, and that's really important. And so what we realize is that there's something that we must do or be to ensure our survival as this limited perspective. So we realize there's some things we do that gets us praise, that makes us not get hurt and makes us feel connected to that family system. Whatever it is that we decide we must do, be, have, or get rid of, or fix in order to stay in the family system orients us. Okay. Now, does everyone remember those 9 focus points, those 9 unconscious agendas? Mm-hmm. They all boil down to one of those 9. Okay, the first one need to be perfect. The second one, the need to be needed. Third one, need to be good enough or be valid. The fourth one, trying to find a lost love. The fifth one, trying to understand the world before going into it. The sixth one, trying to find authority. The seventh one, so scared of negative emotions, only seeking optimism. Whatever the one I'm up to. The eighth one, looking where there is power and feeling powerless. And then the last one, feeling like a nobody, trying to have everyone together. So what happens, we orient to the world through this limitation. You see that? And this is in my book too. So as we become an individual, we orient to the world through this limitation, meaning that's how we believe the world is. Okay, that's how we believe the world is. Now, how many of you, can I just get a little bit of feedback? When I was reading those out on day one, who connected with one or two of those unconscious agendas? Just let me know in your chat box if you did. You were like, oh yeah, my unconscious is like that. That's what I'm like. And so what happens is we actually create a life trying to solve how we feel wounded. You see that? You see people that are still trying to solve, why doesn't mommy and daddy see me? How do I be needed so that I am loved? Oh, I need to try to finally be perfect. We have these childish things. Our society is no process to let these go. No process. So they create their life to solve the limitation. And all it does is create oscillation. Remember, I talked about that on day one. I talked about oscillation. So oscillation says that you try to go for something, but you can never have it, because if you were to have it, you don't know who you are. This is a really fascinating thing. So as we become wounded and we make up this idea about ourselves, that's who we become. So then we try to fix it. But if we were to actually fix it and escape it, guess what? We wouldn't know who we are anymore. So it's an unsolvable riddle. We spend a lifetime having a problem that we're trying to fix, knowing that we can never fix it because then we don't know how the world is and don't know who we are. Isn't that truth quite funny? Whenever I talk about it out loud, I'm like, gosh, very interesting. Is it true? It's like the cosmic joke, isn't it? And unfortunately, it's not funny for a lot of people because they never get to the other side. They just keep trying to battle themselves, and they just go forward and back and 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 forward and back. Every single native culture has a rite of passage. We got rid of ours. We do not have a process where a girl turns to a woman. Usually, it was around her first cycle. She would get taken with other women, and she would become an adult. They would let go of the child. They would let go of it and they'd become powerful. Men would go out into the wilderness and face challenges, but they would come back with personal power, knowing their true nature and purpose and their creative energy, but we don't have it. So what happens is we just keep having that same wounding, and we think it's us and we never let it go. We just keep going. So once you decide to become a creator and live the 4 choices, and I've put this in past tense because I'm expecting you've all decided to do it. Now, the core 4 choices, if you remember them, we're going to go through them a bit more tomorrow, but they are, I choose health and vitality. That's number 1. The second one is I choose to be the predominant creative force of my life. That's number 2. The third one is I choose to live a life I love. That's number 3. And then the fourth one is I choose to live my true nature and purpose. Could someone in my team type that into the Demio chat box or wherever the person is? Can you type that in so that they can see those core 4? Because on this side here, you're a powerless, self-conscious victim to circumstance. Once you make this decision, we get to make this shift here. Okay, connect to our superconscious and make the shift. This point here is what we're going to go through in today's process. The shift to here, where you open the wizard's gate, access the magnetic moment, and create with precision. Once you have recoded all the instructions causing resistance to those 4, now you can be powerful. Until you're able to right now live those 4, if you're not able to live those 4 choices, there's no point trying to do anything else. And just give me some feedback on this. If you're not able to say, I choose and I live a life I love, then if you're not able to say that, what are you doing? You're saying, well, that and that and that stops me from living a life I love. So if you're not able to choose right now and today that you're living the life you love, what's happening is you're giving your power to something else. So we must work on you being able to love your life as it is now so that you're not powerless. Can I get a guess if that makes sense? You're powerless. If you can't live your life you love right now, you're powerless because you've given your power away. The next one says, I choose health and vitality. If you cannot experience health and vitality right now in a body that's breathing and conscious and awake and here and on Zoom, if you can't experience it and you're giving it away to a diagnosis or this or that, you're powerless. You're powerless. The next one is I choose to be the predominant creative force in my life. Okay, predominant creative force means there's lots of other forces in my life, but I'm the predominant one. I'm the main one. You must be able to live and know, yes, other things come in your life, but you're the one creating. You're the one overcoming it. You're the one doing it. That's when you become powerful. And then the last one is living your true nature and purpose right now. So what we do is we actually have you be able to arrive in that moment. And sometimes it can take a while. Like sometimes I know people in the program who had massive resistance to some of these four, and they needed to go and overcome resistance for a couple of months before they truly said, you know what, Chris, every single day I'm living those core four. Every single day I'm living those core four. I've got it. Once you can say to me and you truly own it, I'm living those core four. I love my life. I'm so happy. I feel so energized and fulfilled. I'm in charge of my life. I'm the creative force. And when you then also say, and I'm living my truest nature and purpose, when you have that, you get to be it before you see it. This is the first shift. And by the way, shift happens. When you make that shift, now we choose in from a place of complete abundance. You already love your life. You already have health and vitality. You already are living a true nature and purpose. You already are these things. Now, from this perspective, you say, what else would I love to experience? A home, a business, a charity, a this, or a new marriage, or whatever. Then we recode all resistance and follow through and turn thoughts into things and become super conscious. We live our truth and have it all. This, my friends, is the super conscious journey. And we're right here today. We're in this shift right here because shift is going to happen. So it's very important to make that shift, and we'll talk about it right now. So I hope you're excited about that. When you become it and you're more powerful than your circumstances, you're more powerful than the world. When you have it all and no one can take it away from you, that is when the magic happens. That's when the magic happens. When you're always saying, if I have this, when that's away, when she's better or he's different or they've grown up or that's there or I lose that much weight or I don't have a diagnosis, when you're doing all of that, all you're doing is giving the power to those things. You're saying that has the power to make me feel different. When you can smile at the current conditions and say to yourself, nothing is better than now. Nothing. When you truly get to that, then you simply say, I want to create that. I focus on it. I move towards it, but from a place of complete abundance. This, my friends, we call the magnetic moment, and you get it by using a process we'll do today to open the Wizard's Gate. Now, I want to let you know, I'm not here to spiritually bypass how difficult it might be for you to make this shift. We're just here in a quick 5-day upgrade. I really do pray that you choose to spend a year with us and really get this nailed. And today we'll have a great time as well. So today we're going to do the double bubble. Or if you want to be fancy, the double. Just kidding. It's called the double bubble. I got to entertain myself. So what we do with the double bubble is we create two fields of information. We create two fields of information. And when we do this, we have on one side our biggest failure that we never want to experience, and then on this side, our biggest success. And what we do is we stand here in the middle with our consciousness. We go into all of this, and then we bring it all back so that we don't actually need it. Then we go into our biggest failure, and then we bring it all back so that we're not scared of it. Then in the middle here, we do a recode. And what happens is that allows you to access the magnetic moment. And it's really, really cool. So let's just do a little warm-up exercise here. Could you all please think of something that you would like to not experience in life or avoid? What is something you would like to not experience, you know? Got it.
This is book. You want to buy it? No. Okay, then what happened?
In life, someone's written death. There's something to not experience in life. I can see all the chat box. There's just a lot of you. I can see it all. Okay, cool. So I think you've all got something. So what I'd like you to do when you're ready is please just close your eyes and actively avoid that experience being true. Actively avoid it. Really just, I don't want to experience it. I don't want to have that. Just actively avoid it. Now, open your eyes. Did the thing you're avoiding, did it go away? Did the emotion of it go away, or did it get stronger? What happened when you were just actively avoiding it? Did you just have to kind of experience the fear of it? When you're actively avoiding it, did what you want really manifest? Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, so we'll try a second one. Now this time, just close your eyes and connect into actively avoiding what you don't want, and also focus what you believe will solve that. So what you don't want, and then focus what you must do to avoid it. What you must do to solve it. So what I don't want, what I do want. Focus on what you don't want, and then what you do want as well. Notice it, the pain of what you don't want, and notice what you do want. So I don't want that, and I will do this. Okay, open your eyes, come back. How's that? How's that? What was that like? To kind of focus there and on that. Better, exhausting. Did anyone feel like split focus? Like they were trying to like avoid something while create something? Did your energy feel focused, or did it feel fragmented? Yeah. Most people live their life in that structure. I don't want to do what I don't want to do, what I don't want to do. Some more to come. But when you're in that one, where was the power really? When you think about it, where was the power? I don't want that, I do want that. Was the power in you? Or was the power in what you don't want?
Irritation.
Here's what I found.